Right, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the program. It is Good Afternoon Ghana, and today we'll be handling quite a number of issues ranging from agriculture to education, and we'll see how the other stakeholders who are also involved in these matters will also have a say as far as decisions, policies shaping the future of our children in this country are concerned. So ranging from hair, from the issue of language for tutelage in school, the participation of parents and teachers association, and all other matters coming together. We've held an educational forum in this country, and stakeholders have had a bite on some of the issues, but some which have been put out, most of you still have issues with it, or most of you still have challenges with it. And so we'll have, to understand very well what these policies are meant to be or meant to do to the future of the children. We'll be speaking with our educational stakeholders on these issues. We'll also be joined on the show by Alexander Ayrebiakwa and her team for the Festival 2025. It's Farmed Blue Food. You know that when it comes to growing food or, securing the country as far as food is concerned, now a lot more people are getting much more involved. And so we will be engaging with agriculture in Ghana, a marketing manager of the House Ghana, and Kujis, if I'm correct, and Kujis as well on this matter going forward. Harriet Adi is with us. Good afternoon to you. Harry, you're welcome. How was your weekend?
I was able to sleep well.
Yeah. First of all, let me just ask you, which secondary school did you attend?
Sodre Senior High School.
The pressure is on.
Very.
Welcome.
Well, let's take a look at the headlines for the updates on Good Afternoon Ghana. Debates on social media about students' hairstyles and grooming standards in senior high schools continue as Education Minister warns against inappropriate hairstyles. Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana issues strong warning to government over what it describes as the persistent failure to implement a binding arbitral award granted by the National Labour Commission in May 2023. And women are encouraged to regularly check their breast and report any form of unusual development to the nearest hospital. There's a many more coming up shortly. Welcome. If you just tuned in, this is Good Afternoon Ghana and the news updates. Now to our first story, the Minister of Education, Haruna Iddrisu, has joined the public debate on whether it is time for senior high schools to allow students to wear long hair on campus, especially if it is natural hair. Speaking at the Mauli Senior High School's 75th anniversary in Volta region on Saturday, October 25, the sector minister said the education authorities were not going to tolerate any long hair today or tomorrow, and added the senior secondary school environment was not a place for beauty contest. The public debate followed a video shared on social media last week where a female Form 1 student with a seemingly distraught face was seen crying while at a barber shop to cut her hair in preparation for her first year at the Yasantua Senior High School at Tanaso in Kumasi. Here's Haruna Iddrisu's speech.
Tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character, if we give it to her today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and we will not tolerate that as an institution. Mr. Chairman, there is a lot of growing indiscipline in our schools, some even with teachers abusing learners. We would not accept that. We would apply heavy sanctions to any teacher who wants to take advantage of a learner. And to the students, you only can walk away from Maui School with two values: discipline and integrity, and the future is yours.
Well, away from that, Minister for Climate Change and Sustainability, Seydou Issoufou, has announced a major government initiative to unlock the full potential of nature-based solutions through strengthened collaboration across all sectors of society. Speaking at the Africa Climate Dialogue 2025 held in Accra, the minister said the plan aims to deepen partnership among government, academia, the private sector and the civil society to ensure that research drives policy and that investments support sustainable nature aligned.
The minister said the new approach would align Ghana's climate agenda with global frameworks such as the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework and the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, both of which seek to mobilize international support and attract climate finance for ecosystem protection and restoration. The minister reiterated government is taking a whole government approach to climate action, with efforts underway to institutionalize climate change and sustainability units across all ministries, departments, and assemblies to mainstream climate considerations into national planning and budgeting. He also revealed plans to establish a national climate change and sustainability hub, which will serve as a center of excellence for policy innovation, research, and knowledge exchange.
We are also in a position or initiated plans to ensure that we establish climate and sustainability units in all ministries in Ghana. Not only all ministries, but looking at even the district assembly level. How do we position ourselves to locally led adaptations? How do we position ourselves to educate people at the extreme end where vulnerability levels are very high? We all know that climate change is a behavioral thing. People must be educated. People must be sensitized. So establishing this climate and sustainability units in all the ministries, following up to do it in all these assemblies, will aid us in our fight against the threats of climate change.
Board Chair of Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi, in her welcome address, reiterated the center's commitment to supporting government and stakeholders to integrate nature-based solutions into national policy frameworks. She described NBS as the most cost-effective and practical pathway to environmental protection, social progress, and economic resilience. The dialogue, organized by the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action, brought together key stakeholders including development partners, researchers, private sector leaders, and civil society actors to explore how nature-based approaches can accelerate the continent's transition to a sustainable low-carbon future.
The Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action was established with a clear and urgent mission to champion the adoption and integration of nature-based solutions as a core strategy in Africa's response to climate change. The center seeks to leverage the continent's abundant natural capital, our forests, our soils, our wetlands, our rivers, our coastlines, to build climate resilience, enhance biodiversity, and drive sustainable development. We're all aware that the globe is still struggling with the interconnected and growing problems of land degradation, biodiversity loss, and climate change. These issues are no longer hypothetical dangers. On the contrary, they are everyday occurrences throughout Africa. They have an impact on infrastructure, public health, our food and water security, and the livelihoods of millions of people who directly rely on natural ecosystems for their life. These crises could make existing inequalities worse and reverse the progress we have already made in development. Ladies and gentlemen, as a center, we believe that these formidable obstacles also present for us remarkable chances for change. We can use nature's power to repair damaged landscapes, shield our communities from climate shocks, and generate green jobs that promote equitable economic growth. National development makes it clear how urgently African nations must incorporate nature-based ideas into their national planning, finance, and policy-making processes. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Africa Center for Nature-Based Climate Action stands ready and committed to working hand in hand with governments, the private sector, academia, civil society, and our development partners to accelerate the implementation of nature-based climate solutions in Ghana and across the continent.
Away from that, the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, has issued a strong warning to the government over what it describes as the persistent failure to implement a binding arbitral award granted by the National Labour Commission in May 2023. In a statement, CTAG said the government has repeatedly failed to honor agreed commitments, including the payment of the 2023-2024 book and research allowance arrears, despite assurances given during engagements with the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission on April 30, 2025. According to the association, the allowance was originally expected to be paid alongside the 2024-2025 book and research allowance, but remains outstanding. CTAG also expressed concern that Akrokeri College of Education is yet to receive the top-up of its 2022 book and research allowance, despite numerous assurances from authorities. Now, Fidelis Kamayi is National Secretary of CTAG, and he's joining us on the telephone. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. Now, share your concerns with us.
Good afternoon to you and your cherished viewers and listeners. We thank you for this opportunity to express our grievance to the Ghanaian people to hear what is happening in the College of Education front. As you rightly read in our release, the 2023-2024 book and research allowance, which was part of the arbitral award that was given on 2nd May 2003, is still outstanding. We were given an assurance by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission that the amount to be paid, and a meeting, and a letter was even issued to that effect for data to be collected for that amount of money to be paid, only for the time for payment to reach, and then realize that they did not pay the money. It is upon this that we are trying to draw government's attention to it. Also, Akrokeri College of Education in the 2022, they also have an outstanding book and research allowance to be paid. All colleges have been paid that allowance, with the exception of Akrokeri College of Education. We have written numerously to GTEC, to the Ministry of Education, but still no action has been taken. So these are the main issues upon which we are embarking on the strike. However, there are some other aspects that are with the National Labour Commission. They are yet to give their ruling on them. So those ones, I think we've also stated them in the release. So if you ask me, this is the reason why we have issued a presser.
Okay. And how many times have you met with government over this issue?
Countless number of times. We have met GTEC not less than 5 times. We've met the Minister for Education when he took over. We engaged. We even engaged with the Director of the Tertiary. We've engaged the Minister for Employment, Labor and Jobs. all these people we've met, but still they seem not to be a clear way for us.
Okay, and you've given government 30th October. If you don't hear anything from them, you go on strike. What will be the next call of action if government does not come through for you?
As it has been stated, if government does not attend to these issues, then on the 7th of November, all lecturers in the colleges of education will not go to school. We are going to lay down our tools until such a time that government will honor its obligation. Please, what we're talking about is an arbitral award, and it is binding. It is mandatory that government should honor it.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying that the arbitral award is a ruling of the National Labour Commission, which is binding on government to ensure that it is complied with. So all aspects of the arbitral award must be honored. And government is dragging its feet, especially our employer. They are dragging their feet in ensuring that the implementation is carried through.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate you. We have been speaking to Fidelis Kamayi, who is the National Secretary of CTAG, and we're talking about the whole way of, going on strike and ensuring that government comes through for them. Now, away from that, women have been encouraged to regularly check their breast and report any form of unusual development to the nearest hospital. This action, expert says, can help in the early diagnosis and treatment of breast cancer disease. This was revealed at the Presbyterian University Ghana Tema campus during its observance of this year's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Studies show that nearly 70% of women diagnosed with breast cancer in Ghana are in advanced stages of the disease due to especially low awareness, resulting in limited treatment success and high death rate. Although breast cancer is largely found in women, men are also known to fall victim to the disease on rare occasions. Speaking at the Breast Cancer Awareness Session Open Forum discussions, indoor games and fun engagements by the Presbyterian University Ghana Tema campus, a nurse at Port Medical Center, Elfrida Bokete, encouraged people to seek medical attention when they notice unusual lumps in their breasts.
We aid everybody to go and screen their breast so that we can find out or detect the growth that is growing in their breast. And we also aid the men to also help us to detect the breast. If you are touching your wife's breast or sucking your wife's breast, you should also pay attention to it so that you would detect if there is any growth in the breast, or that, apart from the fact that the lady will come to the hospital for it to be screened, the men will also help us, because you people are very good in doing that.
Some leaders and students of Presbyterian University Ghana Tema campus advised the public about the dangers of breast cancer. Men were not exempted from the discussion.
The health officials were able to take our students through how they will be able to detect the breast cancer for themselves, and then to have a knowledge about it so that they can also educate others also about it. So I think it's a good program for the institution, not for the students who are here to benefit from it alone, but it will go a long way to impact on the larger community.
From the look of things, it's encouraging. We had the nurses from the Port clinic or hospitals to do the screening from the ladies, and also we were told that it's not meant for the ladies alone, but also the men too can have effect on breast cancer as well. So today being opportunity, it wasn't based on the men, on the ladies alone, but also the men also had opportunity doing the screening as well.
Breast cancer is a leading cause of deaths of women in Ghana, with an annual rate of about 2,000 deaths, according to the Breast Society of Ghana.
And to other news, the Council of State member for the Volta region, Gabriel Tanko Kwamega Atopole, has called for stronger partnership between government and private sector to support youth development through sport. He noted that if pragmatic measures are not put in place to invest in young people and their communities, the country risks forfeiting its future leaders. He made the call during the grand finale of the 2025 Menefa Regional Sports Festival held in Doje.
The Duamenafa Regional Tournament has, over the years, evolved from a local gala into one of the biggest youth sports initiatives in the Volta region, which is promoting peace, unity and talent development across communities. The event brought together dignitaries, traditional leaders, sports enthusiasts and thousands of young athletes from across the region. This year's sports festival attracted over 60 teams who competed in various sports disciplines including marathon, tag of peace, volleyball and football. Speaking at the event, the Council of State member for the Volta region and founder of the Tanko Foundation, Gabriel Tanko Kwamiga Atokle, called for stronger collaboration to sustain youth development through sports.
Let me be clear and candid. If we as a people do not invest in our community, we will forfeit our future. Our investment is not charity for the sake of recognition, not at all. It is purposeful and very deliberate. It is an investment in human capital, community safety, and the economic prospects of the Volta region.
Efriye Ankara, speaking on behalf of Julius Debra, the Chief of Staff, commended the initiative and reiterated the government's commitment to regional development.
Today's event reminds us that the development of Ghana isn't complete without the development of the Volta region. We must therefore work together as government, traditional authorities, private sector, and civil society to ensure that opportunities flow into the region, especially for the youth. We must invest in education, leadership, and technical training so that the bright sons and daughters of the Volta region will not only compete on the pitch, but also sit at a table where decisions are made, projects are planned, and investments are negotiated.
The Volta Regional Minister James Gunu assured the government's commitment to improving sports infrastructure and opportunities to enable the youth in the region to excel.
Sports infrastructure development in the region can take a center stage so that we can develop our region with the huge potentials that we have in the sport. We are going to do our best as a government to develop sports.
The captain of the winning team, Bright Mojaka, expressed appreciation for the opportunity to participate in the tournament and called for more such initiatives to support young athletes.
The motivations that our management team have given up on us made us to this far.
Well, that's it for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Harriet Annie.
Yes, Harry, thank you for the update. Let's take a quick breather. When we come back, we get into the issue of education. Quite a number of issues have been raised. New policies that have been introduced by the sector ministry, including languages that are supposed to be used or that are allowed to be used as with instructions or to instruct in classrooms. We'll discuss that. And then also other matters bothering the appearance of students, of which hairstyles have become topical. The minister has ruled on it over the weekend during the Mawuli 75th anniversary. He spoke on that issue. We'll talk about it. And also we'll get into other policies that has to do with the Parent Teachers Association re-establishments in the schools to aid teamwork of the stakeholders and, help promote the future of the schools, the students. We'll also get into the area of agriculture and food production. We'll have the House. And Greg join us here in the studio to discuss that. For now, we'll go for a breather. We'll be back shortly.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model, securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey you later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the pure cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it away, so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey! Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
West Africa's soil yields global treasures. Cocoa, cashew, shea, and cotton. They power industries across the world. Yet for our region, the greatest value still slips away, exported raw, taking with it jobs, industries, and the promise of shared prosperity. The real question is no longer what we produce, but who captures the final reward. True prosperity lies in the value we add right here at home. That's why the 4th edition of the EBIT President's Roundtable will gather the architects of Africa's prosperity and Africa's transformation to answer one defining question. How do we finance the journey from the farm to the port? Join Dr. George Ejikum Donko and some leading experts as EBIT leads a high-level dialogue to unlock financing, empower local industries, and turn West Africa's raw potential into industrial power. Be part of the conversation redefining our economic future, live on Metro TV, DSTV Channel 277, and EBIT platforms on November 24, 2025 at 11 a.m. EBIT President's Roundtable 2025. From the farm to the port, financing the value chains of West Africa's cash crops. My name is Anita Erskine, and it will be an honor to host you.
Victory, celebration, legacy. It's 40 years of Jesus is our victory. Join Victory Bible Church International for the Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. A power-packed celebration marking 40 glorious years of God's faith and God's grace. It all begins on Saturday, 12th October with the Mega Praise and Worship Night, a night of pure gratitude and praise. Then get ready for the Wonder Walk on October 25th, a citywide walk of testimony and victory. From October 27th to the 30th of October, the Wonderful Jesus Conference continues live at the VBCI Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi Junction. Expect nothing but divine encounters, miracles, and transformation. On October 31st, meet us at the Independence Square for a nationwide gathering of worship, power, and the Word. Then on November 1st, join the outreach program at Mancho Agbona. Then let's touch lives and share the love of Jesus Christ. And finally, the grand service at the Independence Square on November 2nd. Come and witness the glory of 40 years of victory. Ministering are Bishop N.A. Takiyaboy, Bishop Clement Amankwa Isehene, Bishop Elijah Saforo, and Bishop Emmanuel Akon. Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. 40 years of grace, power, and impact. From the 12th of October to the 2nd of November. Victory Bible Church International invites you to celebrate Jesus because Jesus is our victory.
Togbe, the Deputy Director General of the GES is here. Chairman of the GES Council is here. There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today. We will not tolerate it tomorrow. And so long as we are molding character, if we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and would not tolerate that as an institution.
This is Hits.
The Honorable Minister for Education, Haruna Iddrisu, has asked me to clarify that the policy directive he announced on Friday regarding the compulsory use of mother tongue as a medium of instruction in our public basic schools is confined, emphasis, confined to KG up to primary 3. In other words, KG and lower primary. Having clarified what seems to have given a view.
Togbe, the Deputy Director General of the GES is here. Chairman of the GES Council is here. There is an ongoing debate in social media.
Okay, apologies. The Education Minister there, Haruna Iddrisu, speaking about the ongoing debates on hairstyles, allowing the ladies or the students to keep their hair or not allowing them to keep their hair. Also, there's been the issue of languages, that's your mother tongue language in school, to be used as a medium of instruction in the classrooms. We've also had a reversal of the PTA, the Parents Teachers Association establishment in the schools to aid decision-making or decision-taking process also in the secondary schools. A lot more issues, coming up. And the minister have said one or two about them. You've had access to them. Are they in the news or on social media? Let's engage the director of EduWatch, Kofi Asare, who is also the executive director for Education Watch, and he's been very vociferous on matters of education in Ghana. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Asare. You're welcome, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Annie.
Yes.
I don't know how vociferous I've been.
Vociferous in terms of contributing to opinions and shaping of policies within the educational sector. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you. We appreciate it. All right. So let's start from here. When the government took over or first took over, there were quite a number of forums that were held depending on the sector, economic sector, education sector, health sector, and all that. We did one on education, which was quite big. I'm sure you partook in it. Take us through how that forum went.
Well, we engaged stakeholders across the country, and then we submitted our recommendations after analyzing the responses and contributions from stakeholders. We submitted our recommendations to His Excellency, who commissioned the committee. And so over 100 recommendations were made across all levels of education and across various thematic areas. We are waiting for the presidency to make public the report so that all stakeholders who have key roles to play in implementing the recommendations will be aware and guided as such, including the Ministry of Education. It is also important for the report to be out because it is only when we have an idea about government's position on our recommendations that it will be clear in our minds about which of the recommendations government aligns with the committee and which of the recommendations government agrees with us, so that we are able to have a defined framework for demanding accountability for implementing the recommendations from government.
But at the end of the forum, did we draw a framework that we thought we're going to be working with, of which if you see any policy, all right. So what was it like? Was it satisfactory for all stakeholders that partook in the forum?
Well, stakeholders are concerned about the dwindling quality of education, especially at the basic level. Stakeholders are concerned about secondary school issues relating to indiscipline, number one, examination malpractice, number two, and also they expressed concern about the way the rollout of the new secondary school curriculum was being managed. There were issues relating to the quality of secondary education infrastructure, also, and then the merit deficits in the school placement system also emerged. So these were issues that arose in secondary education, in basic education. Similarly, infrastructure, textbooks, teaching and learning resources availability, teacher inadequacy was paramount. Issue of teachers' welfare, transition from primary school to junior school, one concerns were raised. TVET financing was a big issue. Alignment of skills training to market needs was a big issue. Secondary TVET share of secondary population, or if you like, the participation of our young people in skills training or TVET was also raised as an issue. Tertiary level cost of tertiary education was key. Alignment of tertiary curriculum with labor market needs was also key. And then also secondary to tertiary transition, we are producing about 500,000 secondary school graduates every year, more than 500,000, as a matter of fact. And then only about 200,000 are making it to tertiary. It was raised, etc. So a gamut of issues have been raised with recommendations made. It is the responsibility of the presidency to make the report public so that we can have conversations around it.
Yeah.
Most importantly, so everybody will be aware of their collective responsibilities in supporting government to implement the recommendations.
Was the issue of the removal of BEC, was it paramount, or did it feature in the discussion where there's been proposals of if we can make from the JHS level to SHS level a continuous curriculum activity instead of putting BEC in it? Did it come up, something like that?
That issue was raised, but I think that I am not able to immediately recollect the committee's decision on that, but that issue was raised. But the challenge with that issue is that we are not there yet.
Okay.
We are not there yet. And even if we are there, listen, the BEC is no longer a certification exam as it used to be prior to 2017. The BEC now exists mainly because of school placement. The only relevance of BEC is to determine who goes to PRESEC and who goes to adopting. That's why the BEC is conducted. So if we remove the BEC today, on what basis will we determine who goes to PRESEC or adopting? If an alternative is found, then I think that conversation can be advanced. But for now, I don't see any basis apart from having the BC assessment to determine who goes to school A or school B. In the past, we have made proposals. If I say in the past, during the electioneering campaign, we made proposals to both the NDC and the MPP to consider changing the format for the BC. We think that if the BC is no longer a certification examination and it's only for placement purposes, we don't need to write that number of subjects. Maximum 4, maths, English, science, and then a general paper comprising all the other subjects put together. Maximum 4, so that the stress level, reduces. At least that will offer a golden opportunity to still assess students on their competence. So our proposal, as Edward, was about reforming the BEC, reducing the number of subjects, reducing the stress level. But we are yet to see any level of political acceptance, especially by the current administration. In the MPP manifesto, they proposed something similar, but we haven't seen any political acceptance yet from the ruling government.
All right. Let me pick your mind also on the placement, since we are talking about purposes of the placement and how it happened this year as well. What was your what were the observations you made? Maybe anything we did better this year or anything we did worse this year, because the placement system has always raised issues, very critical issues. There are parents, I'm not sure, I cannot confirm whether or not they are being truthful, but there are parents, complaining about extortion or paying some amounts of monies to people who want certain schools for their children. How did you do observation of how the placement went this year?
Well, obviously the placement had issues. The ministry has admitted, the minister himself admitted that the placement had issues and therefore has called for a review of the system. And we determined that there were issues 2 weeks before the minister went to PRESEC. And we raised the issues. For us, in our monitoring, we identified 3 key issues. The first issue was the computer placing students as day students in other regions or other districts. That was 1. 2, the computer placing students in schools and assigning them programs that the students did not select. And then the third one was the computer placing students in schools that they did not choose at all. So I thought this was very concerning, because having traveled this journey since 2017 when free seniors was introduced, these 3 issues emerged around 2018, 2019. And we resolved them by 2020. So I was surprised that in 2025, the same problems have resurfaced. And that is why in our initial review, we called on the ministry to revert to the 2024 software, because it didn't give us these problems. So I think that the challenges we faced were systemic.
You called for a reversal. You called for a reversal to the 2024 system.
Yes, the minister called for a review of the system, right? And then we of the opinion that, well, the system we're using as of 2024 didn't have the challenges we're experiencing. It has solved them 4 years back. And so let's just simply go for the 2024 one. And then we should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah. Because there wasn't a problem. I didn't see any major problem. I didn't see any major problem, because challenges that are emerging today are challenges that emerged in 2019, 2018, when we were using the old software. I'm told there's a change in the software or something. If that's the case, let's go for the old one. Because the old one was serving us much better than the challenges. These challenges were addressed by the old one 5 years ago.
There didn't have to be.
Listen, there are many challenges in the secondary education sector. Many challenges the minister has to confront with. And so we don't want the ministry to be worrying itself with placement
systems. There didn't have to be. There didn't have to
dynastic.
be a software change by all means, just because there's a change in government. If the software is serving us better,
I have no idea about how the system works.
Yeah.
I have no idea about whether it's a software or whether it's a human being. I have no idea. But what I have an idea about is that the system was making mistakes that last happened in 2018-19 and were resolved. And so when I inquired and learned that the minister said that there was a need to review the system, I said, review what system? So further inquiries indicated that there's a new software. I said, oh, okay. So it's a new software that we have to review. If that's the case, then what happened to the old software? Let's go for it, because these challenges have been addressed by the old software. So for me, it's a simple matter of just switching to a software that was, at least, so far as I'm concerned, the 2024 software gave us very, very little challenges compared to the challenges that emerged this year. And as I said, the challenges in secondary education are so huge that the ministry shouldn't be occupying themselves too much with issues that have been resolved already.
Okay.
So that the minister and his team can focus on weightier issues than issues that we already have solutions to. I think we should be fine with the 2024 system we're using. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get into the addressing of the system itself. The manifesto of this government had really hammered on making major changes within the educational sector, particularly the SHS. We had the issue of the PTA. We had the issue of the track system that I think this government has been trying to reconcile and bring it back to the old system. I'm not sure how that is being done. I will engage the Irene Sam, who is a deputy national PRO for the Parent Teachers Association. But I need your comments on it first. How do you think government is doing as far as trying to restructure the educational system? How do you think it is doing? We'll talk about the hair and other issues later, but the whole restructuring system itself, are we doing it appropriately?
Well, the government calls it a reset agenda. I think the government is on course. Apart from the school placement system that took us back, the rest manifesting positive resetting. The education sector, education is a system. And so if you want to reset it, it has to be done strategically in a way that affects various interrelated parts. And we are seeing various reviews taking place at all levels gradually. I think so far, from the tertiary level, we are seeing interventions aimed at removing or reducing the cost of education. We've seen the no-fee stress being introduced at the tertiary level to reduce the cost burden on students. Last week, Friday, we saw the launch of the free tertiary education, comprehensively free, covers everything, accommodation, everything, for persons with disability at the tertiary level. And that is very, very significant and applaudable. We've seen at the secondary level interventions being rolled out, including enhancing commencement of procurement to enhance infrastructure upgrading. We have seen at the basic level also ongoing efforts to procure textbooks. We are monitoring the procurement process. We've seen at the basic level about 1.2 billion allocated for constructing new basic schools, 261 basic schools, one in every district. Mm-hmm. And our checks in the districts that we are monitoring indicate that procurement process has ended and construction is starting. These schools are being constructed under the District Assembly's Common Fund, and about 70% of releases have been made to ensure that these projects are implemented. We are monitoring all this, and so these are significant investment. We've also seen within the 1.2 billion, half of that money, 100 million, committed towards procuring basic school furniture in every district. So there are lots of things going on in the area of quality. Today there's a foundational learning tracker being launched at Accra College of Education as we speak. So there's a gamut, it's a whole mixed bag of interventions. I see, if you ask me, I see a lot of things, too many things taking place. It's important that we ensure that we properly align them such that it doesn't become too many. I agree that the NDC in their manifesto had about 134 promises. And so it is important that they hit the ground running as it has been seen. But the sequencing of their interventions, and then also, most importantly, the emphasis on quality implementation, beyond the launch and the rollout. All those two are important so that we just don't implement interventions or implement them in a manner to bring out the desirable outcomes. So for me, that is very important. Now, that's the role that Edward as an organization we play. We are monitoring, we are launching our education sector performance dashboard on the 7th of January to coincide with the one year anniversary of the government. We are going to launch our performance tracker on all, not just promises, but policy pronouncements that have been making in the SONES, the budget statement by the minister, and then all the 134 promises in the manifesto, putting all on an electronic dashboard, and then we'll be updating it every quarter from January 7th. So we're going to launch the initial one covering the first year on January 7th, and then we're going to have it on our website so that it's going to be open for the public to review. We're going to be updating it and be reminding the government that yes, you have promised A, B, C, D, E. Ensure you do them, but most importantly, in doing them, quality of implementation is very important to achieve the outcomes that we expect from the interventions.
It's called what? Government Educational Monitoring Dashboard.
We call it Education Promise Tracker.
Education Promise Tracker.
Yes, we had a similar one for the previous government, for the past government. But it wasn't a live platform. It was a report that was published. But we've improved. We want to move from doing this every 4 years to having it running so that it becomes a formative process of updating government delivery and then measuring progress, measuring gaps, and then communicating same to government for the purpose of accountability and quality improvement.
And you're saying that you will make it user-friendly for the public to also engage on the dashboard?
It's going to be on our website, yes. It's going to be on our website so that everybody knows the metrics, the parameters, and then every quarter we'll be updating progress as and when. And on our dashboard, we just don't take, free tertiary for PWDs. Then we take, no, that's not what we do. We have various levels of accomplishment. The program being launched is just one. The program being implemented is just one. The quality of implementation is just one. So there are processes. So it's not just about launching and ticking the box. But then beyond that, we look at the quality of implementation also. If we believe that if we do that this year, compared to previous years where we wait and do this at the end of the 4 years, it will help government to improve its performance formatively as they travel the 4-year journey. And then also it will also help citizens to have the basis to demand accountability from government, not only at the end of 4 years, but then in the course of the 4 years.
All right. Kofi, if you can kindly hold on, let me engage Irene Sam. Irene Sam is the Deputy National PRO for the Parent Teachers Association of Ghana, and she has joined us. Irene, thank you for your time. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Irene Sam. Irene, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. If we're able to restore Irene, we'll speak with her. But let me. So, Kofi, is she on? Hello, Irene.
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for your time. You're welcome to the program. Good afternoon, Ghana. So we're looking at you coming back as Parent Teachers Association. Congratulations on that. I hope it's a good thing you wanted. Is that what you wanted?
Well, good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. And I also bring you special greetings from our national president of NCPTAs to all our regional reps, zonal, district, and school-based executives all over Ghana. And I'm also happy for having me here this afternoon. So the coming back of the PTAs is a laudable idea, but the way they are going about it is what we are unhappy about. The kind of infiltration we are getting from the government and from the ministry is something that we don't support and we don't agree with at all. So it coming back is laudable, coming back on board. That's what we all expected. But the angle they are picking up it up from is what we totally disagree with them.
And if you can expatiate further, how do you mean infiltration?
Yes. You know, the NCPTAs has always been an autonomous non-governmental agency or institution that has lasted for years now. We have been registered duly with the Registrar General's Department, and as NCPT, we in no way fall in the purview of the GES or the Ghana Education Service or the ministry, but the pre-tertiary acts that we use for tertiary levels of education. So they have no kind of logos for them to even come into our space and set rules or guidelines to operate us. The only regulator for PTAs in Ghana is NCPTAs. And we thought that we have, sell out our institution to them all this while. We have made ourselves available, open our doors to them for any form of engagement to be taking place, only for them to just, come in one at a time, a blue moon, and then come and set rules for us, set guidelines that will operate NCPTAs without our knowledge, without our engagement, without our involvement. So that's what we are talking about. That we don't want any political party or any government to come into our space. And what they're doing is illegal. It is not part of their legal duty that they have to perform as a ministry and as a service to us. So that's what we are talking about, that the guideline that they have brought, we totally disagree with them. It doesn't conform to our rules or our laws of Ghana, both the 1992 Constitution and that of the Pre-Tertiary Act of Education that we have in this country.
The guideline that was set for the PTA, are there some matrices in it that you consider illegal?
The whole thing is that they have no authority to bring out guidelines for PTAs.
Why? Why do you say that?
That's why I said that when you look in the Pre-Tertiary Act, the authority or jurisdiction of the ministry, PTAs are not part of it. Their rule doesn't extend onto us. They can manage their employees, they can manage their agencies, but we don't fall in an agency of ministry or the GES. So for the first rule, they have no authority whatsoever to set a guideline for a registered entity like NCPTAs. Since 2013, we have been in operation, managing the PTA space in Ghana without our knowledge, without our involvement, without our engagement whatsoever. So that's all that we are saying, that they have no authority to do so for us. We have our own way of running our association. And if you have any issue with it,
the launch of the guideline was in September 2025. Is there any item in the guideline that has affected you negatively, that's making you consider that this is infiltration, this is unacceptable, and this is illegal?
Yes, all of it, from the A to the Z, we don't accept it. And even for them to even have a thought of it, that we want to set guidelines for a registered entity, it is totally illegal. So that move alone is illegal. And the content also is illegal. That's the argument that we are making now.
All right, but you appreciate the fact that the schools, as you refer to them, government employees, you are working as team members with these employees in the schools. For that matter, whatever decision taken by the employees with you, government must be concerned about it. We've had reports of extortion, some of you complaining. Government has come in to try and stop activities of that nature or those illegal, happenings. So government cannot just turn a blind eye to all activities. I can understand that your previous engagement was different. And maybe the new PTA is taking a different shape that you might not be comfortable with. But it is what it is.
No, my dear. The whole issue is that DES or ministry, they manage their staff who are under them. And we don't fall under their purview. We don't belong there.
Yeah.
We are a collaborator. We are partners in education. They can attest to the fact that if the PTAs are not there, how can the school run? All these years, all that we do is to the benefits of the schools that our wards are, because we are seeking their interest, the love that we parents have for them. So whatever issue, the directive that comes from the ministry, it goes directly to their staff. We are not GES staff. They have not employed us. Therefore, they cannot come in and tell us what we have to do. We have our own way that we operate, and that is what should exist. So that's the angle that we are coming from. So whatever issue that they have, they should deal with their staff. And we know that we have several reports of their staff, using our names to collect monies when we are not even aware. Meanwhile, they don't have that authority to do so. So if DES is coming out with whatever, it is to their staff. But we don't fall within their staff. They have not employed us in any way. We are not under them. We don't fall under their agency or anything. So we don't even have to take directives from them. We collaborate with management in the enhancement of education delivery in Ghana. That's what we have stood over all these years in the history of our country.
So, in effect, what you're trying to say is if there's any guideline at all, it should go to their employees and not parents.
Exactly. It should go to the employee that they are managing. We manage our parents. So, whatever guidelines they have, it should go to the employees. We also have the way that we operate, which we have stated to our members for them to stick to it.
Well, since the launch of the guideline, it has been rolled out and schools are using it. Have you registered your displeasure and pushed for its scrapping? Irene?
We have.
And what has happened so far?
Taking steps. And for where the issue is now, I'm not sure I want to delve more into it, but we have.
Okay. Kindly hold on. Let me engage Kofi on this briefly before I get to other issues. Kofi, have you had opportunity to see what it's contained in the PTA guidelines?
Indeed, I chaired the committee that drafted the guideline.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I chaired the committee that drafted the guideline.
Okay.
And but I'm unable to speak to the issue because the issue is currently in court.
It's in court?
Yes.
I will pause there because any further question I will ask you will bother on the the core of the matter. So I think we'll talk about that later. But let me get back with Irene. Yeah. So after the court ruling, we'll see what happens. Irene, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. So as Parents Teachers Association, we have seen a number of issues also that have been a little controversial with hair of the students. We've also talked about the minister indicating that first mother tongue language should be allowed in the schools and, it's obligatory for teachers to use to instruct in the classrooms and all that. As an association, has this come to you? Did you agree? I'm sure some of these issues were discussed at length with stakeholders, and we all have come to an agreement and conclusion. Please, what's your take on it?
Thank you. So on this issue, we, the PTA Council, also agree with what the minister said, looking at the code of conduct that exists in our public schools in Ghana, whereby our wards have to trim their hair, forming parts of uniformity and also discipline. so that we will see the outcome of it thereof. So we are also in support that this rule or this regulation should rather be enhanced, making sure that these things go, because the kind of distraction that comes along with the growing of the hair, leaving of the hair, washing of the hair, rain touching of the hair, braiding of the hair, is a whole lot. And we at the public space do not have any room for such things. So we are saying that we are with the minister on this, and we stand strongly with him that this rule should be enhanced and should be enforced in our senior high schools in Ghana.
There's been the discussions that to every rule there are exceptions, and so some of the students, exceptions are given on health grounds, sometimes on religious grounds, and other issues. I'm sure all those are in consideration.
Exactly. For on health grounds is there. We have had one or two of such cases in some of the schools, which is totally acceptable. But you see, the moment we try to look at some of these things, then we are spoiling the whole, school system. We are trying to, take some stance that will, at the end of it, destroy our own system, our own morality, our own discipline that we want to even enhance in our schools. So let the argument, let the conversation go on, but we are saying that it should rather be enforced and enhanced and not to be re-looked, or we should review it to see whether we will bring it back or not. No. Bringing it back will not help us. However it is, it should be there, it should be enforced. And I think it will also go a long way to help us.
How will it go a long way to help us? There's the other school of thought that has to do with grooming our children in such a way that they grow to love themselves, includes the hair, because of generally the hair type that we have as Africans. That's another school of thought. It's not really about, oh, the girl just wants to look nice in school and for beauty purposes. No, it's about having children accept that this is the hair type you have, this is how it is kept. As much as you want to dismiss it, it is critical that we start letting children accept themselves as Pan-Africanists, for them to begin to promote themselves and love themselves as they come into adulthood. Have we considered that part of argument?
My dear, no. We have not. And I don't think it's something we should even look at where we stand now. There are pertinent issues concerns that we need to really look at this point in time in educational levels or learning outcomes. And some of these things shouldn't come in the system at all.
How do you consider? How do you consider some of these things? You think it's not major?
It is not a major thing. If you have, how many years will you spend in school? After the senior high school, you have your hair to do whatever you want to do with it. And let's also not forget that in the school system, they are training boys and girls. Whatever that makes you look like a boy or girl, that's what you have to go by. And that is how we want our children to look. But the conversation should also start from the home. Let our walls know that this is Ghana, and this is how we go about our things. The moment you find yourself in a public school, this is how your hair should be kept. And I think it should help us to go a long way. Once we have done this, we have not had any form of stress or dangers whatsoever. It has not even caused any harm to us. So why do you want to change it? Why do you want to have a conversation around it to review it? It is only when something is done that we see that it is not having any good effect or any effect on us that we can have a conversation to change it. But where we sit now, there has been no argument whatsoever, no concern whatsoever about these things until this issue came in. You see, so please, I'm of the view, or the council is of the view that let's rather see how best we can enhance the rules. Let them know that this is how it is done. And it is all going to help them, for them to concentrate in school, for them to know that they are boys and they are girls and they are going to the school system. They are there to learn. After the senior high school, you can do whatever to do with your hair. Nobody cares about it. But let us do it this way. It's really, really helps.
Oh, that statement too, I don't agree.
Really?
Yeah, that you can do whatever you want. Nobody cares. Somebody cares.
I mean, after senior high school, if you want to go and braid, you want to do and whatever, you can do it.
Yeah, but I wasn't speaking. I wasn't speaking on the terms of beauty. I was speaking on the terms of values, the African value, because the school purposes is to shape your mind, is to shape your brains, is to groom you into some personality that we will love as Africans. And so we care after school to see what becomes of you. So you can't say that after school, we don't care, whatever you want to do, you can do it.
No, I mean, regarding your hair.
Yeah.
Regarding your hair. That's where I'm talking about. Regarding your hair, you can have it braided or whatever. Leave it on.
Okay.
But before pre-tertiary level, from kindergarten to senior high school, this is what we want you to look like. And I think it has helped us.
Yeah.
All of us have gone through. And nothing bad has happened to us.
Okay, hold on. We will come back to the issue of languages. Let's Kofi have his bite on this before we delve into the tutelage. Kofi, so this has been the argument. It is just keep it simple. It makes life easy in the classroom or in schools, according to at least PTA is speaking to us, so we know what's happening. I'm sorry. I think you're off. I don't know if you have muted yourself.
Yeah, so it's
right.
not just about making it simple, but it's also recognizing that Ghana is the only country I know where secondary education is boarding as a norm. Close to 90% of our students are boarders. No country does that in the world. And so you have a situation where you have about 5,500 students in one school per sec, under the care of a few teachers. If you are a parent, reckon how difficult it is to manage just 2 people in your household, 2 children, and then compare it with managing 5,500. One of the ways you can manage them effectively is to ensure that there is uniformity in the way they appear, in the way they act, in the way they behave, and such uniformity cannot happen unless there are rules that promote uniformity. It is within that uniformity that we have school uniforms. We have common shoes, common hairstyles, and common languages spoken on campus, etc., etc. That is why I urge the school authorities that they need that uniformity to manage such complex numbers. In addition to that, we are on the side of the law. The Education Service rules have been tested in courts under the Achimota and Rastafarian case.
Yeah.
And in the judgment, the court said that the schools may have the right to impose their rules and regulations, as it were, as part of regulating dressing and hairstyles. However, in doing so, they should not interfere in one's right to religion. In that Mota case, the 2 gentlemen made a point that they believe in Rastafarianism, which is their religion, and that keeping their hair that way was a way they manifested their religion. The court said that insofar as keeping their hair in that way was a way of manifesting their religion, asking them to cut the hair or denying them admission based on the nature of their hair was amounting to either discriminating them on religious grounds or trampling upon their religious rights, which also is a fundamental right in the Constitution. So the court simply said that insofar as you have rules in schools about hairstyle, about dressing style, that do not infringe on people's rights to people's fundamental constitutional rights, the rules are fine. That's what the court said. In this discussion, I have not heard anyone advance the case that the lady has alleged or claimed that keeping her hair in that state was a manifestation of her religious or cultural rights. I haven't heard that. If there's anything like that, then she can engage the courts and seek redress. But so far as the law is concerned, the law now is on the side of schools maintaining regulations on the appearance, insofar as those regulations do not frown upon religious rights. Well, let's go according to the law. Prior to Maguire and Maguire and Co. versus Achimota, there wasn't any explicit law. And so we were all siding with the boys. Okay.
Yeah.
But now the court says, yes, you can admit the hairstyle, but only on religious grounds.
Only on religious
So
grounds. So for now, in the schools, the exceptions are given to only religious grounds and health, for that matter.
Well, the court said religion and culture, but of course, there will always be exemptions, obviously, on health grounds too, because it's fundamental. There's a fundamental right at stake there, and so health grounds too. Yes.
Right.
All I'm saying is that in discussing this issue, let's be guided by Achimota and the Rastafarians, because the judgment was for education.
Education.
The minister's pronouncement is consistent with the law. The GES regulations are consistent with the law. And so if we have issues with the law, we can go and then seek review, in the courts.
Right. Right. Irene, are you still on the line with us?
I'm online.
All right. So let's finally touch on the language now, mother tongue, to be used as a medium of instruction in the classrooms. And I think that is also generated some level of debate. You've discussed it at your level, I'm sure. And what do you make of it? What is PTA saying about it?
Yes, we know for language policy, it has existed for some time now, whereby our basic schools, they use the L1, which is their mother tongue, as a medium of instruction for primary levels. And then it's only the English language that they use for English. And then they use the L2, that is the English language, for the same English language. Now, there is a school of thought, there is a research that has come out to say that when our children are well vested in their local language, they're able to assimilate the English language very well.
It's actually an established research.
Yes, it is. It is an established research, it's true, research in the educational space.
Yeah.
So that has been the language policy for some time. But I think at a point in time, there was a change in it. That whereby, right now they use all the L2 as a medium of instruction for all the schools level, all the levels of education. But if we are bringing it back, we feel that it's a good thing for us to do, because we see how our wards are struggling with the L2, assimilating the English language. So if they are able to learn the local one, then it's being taught very well. They understand whatever it means. They can also pick the English language too as well. So it's a policy that we all hook on to, and we feel that we should also enhance that one and enforce it in our schools.
Have you had the debates of, I'm not sure how the perspective in which I can put it, but you've had debates on that, on other platforms, people disagreeing to this policy?
Well, there is always room for that. People will always disagree with a policy, but we are looking at what to be in the interest of our children, what we feel that will help them as they are growing. You see, and this is Ghana, this is African. So whatever that we need to do to uphold our mother tongue, we need to do so to help in the education delivery in Ghana. So all of us together, I feel that the discussion must also go on. Whatever disagreement, it will always be there. But let's look at it holistically. Let's look at the common good for all of us, how we can improve upon, our L2, how our wards can assimilate it. So most of the schools in Ghana, most of our children, they can never read nor write. You see, they find it so difficult to get the language. But if it is being interpreted to them, it is being brought to them at the lower levels in their own dialect, their own local language, I think they can also make way, in assimilating the L2 thereof, and also picking up the literacy levels as far as the English language is concerned. So let's all look at it this way and see how best it will help us. So whatever it is, that will be in our common good. That's what the council stands for. Whatever will help our world develop and become beneficial to themselves and their society at large. That's what we also stand for. And this policy, before that, will help us in the long way.
Right. Kofi. Hello, Kofi.
Yeah, we've gone past the stage. Evidence abound globally.
Kofi, what I want to throw to you is that there's a concern that is rising also about Ghana's inability to identify one language. You know, being a country with so many languages, at least by now we must have decided on one language that will be the identity of the country, so that when we say your L1, we all know what language it would be. Or do we still want to go on this tangent of the many languages we have? So depending on your geographical location, then you are supposed to learn that language. Because my mother maybe is from Eastern region. I might be schooling in the Volta region. Will I be giving the L1 language in the Volta region because I'm in the Volta region? You know, while my mother tongue is probably Akan.
So that's one of the challenges we face in implementing the flexible language policy in the past 2 decades. If you study the origin of this particular policy, in 2001, 2002, a project was piloted in the southern part of Africa called the Maltena Project, where they piloted the use of mother tongue to instruct at the foundational level and found significant benefits by way of improved learning outcomes, and suggested that could be used from KG to primary 3, and then at primary 4 you transition to English. So that project was dubbed the Breakthrough to English, Transition to English, whatever, Breakthrough to Literacy, Transition to English. About 22 or so years of implementing it, with its ups and downs in Ghana. What you are saying is one of the challenges that I identified, which is the fact that in Southern Africa, where this project was actually piloted, predominantly is Swahili. Okay, while here we have many languages, and so we struggle to align our teacher deployment policies and practices in line with the L1, the indigenous language. If you are graduating 15,000 teachers from college and deploying 10,000 in a year, how are you distributing them in line with their indigenous language? Bear in mind that you also have key parameters like teacher deficits to deploy. So you're looking at teacher deficits, you're looking at the indigenous language, you're looking at whether the teacher is a junior high school teacher or early childhood teacher. Mm-hmm. So it is not impossible, but we've had challenges aligning teacher deployment policies with the L1. I come from Latte. Assuming I was a teacher, and I'm not a teacher, but if I were a teacher, I probably would have been posted using this policy to Latte to teach. But I can't teach in Latte. I can't do a paragraph in Latte. So we will continue to face these challenges. It doesn't mean that we should give up on the use of mother tongue to instruct.
Yes, then that will mean that this particular policy is seeming like we are implementing it with a top-down approach, which can end up in chaos.
Well, in a decentralized teacher deployment regime, where districts have more control on the hiring and deployment of teachers, it would be easier to implement this policy. Ours is a centralized teacher deployment regime, where Yaomenu finishes college, and then he has to be posted to a school by GES from Accra. But in other jurisdictions, a teacher is hired by the local government in the district, cognizant of the local language in the district. And so if an advert is placed for a teacher in, let's say, in Elembele Municipal or the Elembele Municipal will do the advert in Elembele at the district assembly, teachers will apply. Once you know you are going to Elembele, you know that your mother tongue, your language should be Nzima. But ours is a centralized teacher deployment regime. So we've had challenges, as I said, over the past 2 decades. The challenge with this mother tongue thing has been aligning the mother tongue at the foundational level with our teacher deployment policies. That has been the challenge. So as the minister said, I understand the minister to say that we are strengthening the use of mother tongue at the foundational level because it's already an existing policy of over 2 decades. The only issue is that it has suffered weak implementation because of some of the challenges I'm explaining. And it is not in the entire education system. It is only at the foundational level between KG1 and primary 3. Primary 4, you transition to English. And so I think that if the minister wants to strengthen the implementation of the mother tongue policy, we must decentralize our teacher deployment system. And we must be intentional from the point of admitting people into college to the point of graduating and deploying teachers. We must be intentional about their L1 so that we can at least make some progress in the areas where it is very, very, very important to have teachers with proficiency in the indigenous language to instruct at the foundational level.
All right. Kofi, we'll leave it here. I'm grateful for your time this afternoon. Kofi Asare is the Executive Director for Education Watch. And also, Irene Sam, do you have some last words before I let you off?
Well, let me say I'm grateful for you having me here this afternoon. Then let us all see the way forward. But let us enhance the systems in our educational front. And let's make sure that the learning and teaching process is also duly taking place so that we can realize our objectives as an institution or as an educational institution in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene, for your time. Irene Sam is the Deputy National PRO for the Parent Teachers Association, having joined us on the shaping of the educational system of our children. Let me put this across quickly before I take a breather. A release from the Ghana Police Service, and it says 4 people arrested in connection with shooting incident during burial and funeral rites of 6 bodies at Asamankese. And the statement reads, the Eastern South Regional Police Command on Sunday, October 26, 2025, arrested 4 suspects in connection with a shooting incident which led to injuries of 6 civilians and 3 police officers during the burial and funeral rites of 6 family members at Asamankese. Police had information that some people were conveying guns and cartridges into a room near the chief's palace and subsequently dispatched personnel to the scene for their arrest, leading to the retrieval of 1 single barrel gun, 84 live AAA cartridges, 7 cutlasses, and 2 knives. Now, on the arrest of the suspects, Isaac and Tim Nanayao Zenyo, Bismarck, KK Adam, 29, and Boabing Richard, 25, some agitated youth attacked the police officers with stones and other implements, causing injuries to 3 police officers on their heads and hands respectively, and further caused damage to the windscreen and side glass of 2 police vehicles. Now, the youth also blocked the road at Asamankese, Akroso Junction, and around the Chief's Palace, firing guns indiscriminately on the allegation that the bereaved family may bury 6 bodies in the Royal Cemetery. So in the process, 6 victims, David Odami, 28 years, Musa Jakweli, 29 years, and Patrick Ofosu, Obing Emmanuel, 18 years, Asamoah 18 years, and 1 other yet to be identified, sustained gun injuries. So victims are on admission at the Asamankese Government Hospital receiving treatment, while all other suspects are in police custody assisting with investigation. The situation has been normalized and Asamankese Township is calm. The Eastern South Regional Police Command has intensified patrols and surveillance in the town to maintain law and order. And then the public is assured of security strategy in place to protect life and property for the people to go about their normal duties. It's signed by David Fiancotre, DSP, Public Affairs Unit, Eastern South region. So that is a release that we just received from the Ghana Police Service, shooting incidents that got people injured in the police service as well. Apologies. Affected. Now, when we come back, I'll be engaging Alexander Yerebi Aqua. She's marketing manager for The House Ghana and Kujis on issues of agriculture matters. We'll be back shortly.
You don't love who you are, and you can only look pretty with buying like Brazilian hair, Indian hair, or something before you can be acceptable in society. We have a problem. You see these girls that are dancing. The moment, the very hour they leave SS, they go buy Brazilian hair. If you meet 10 people today, 9 have some kind of hair on. That is the sad part for me as a mother and as a woman, and for me as a leader of a nation. When I was back in the US, I'd see the Chinese people, their hair, doesn't matter how their hair looks, their face, they are still confident as people. When are we going to have that confidence as Africans? When are we going to realize that our hair, the braiding of her hair in school is part of life? That the girl, when she comes home and goes to work, would have to worry about her hair and how she goes to work with her hair. So learning how to maintain your hair in school and being part of going to school and learning and being able to braid your hair before classes, they are all parts of life. That the people who write the book that we study in school, they don't have to go through this. Why won't we come to the understanding that we have failed?
Writes on Facebook, what does cutting or growing hair got to do with character modeling? I'm curious, someone should explain this to me. Africa.echo also writes, she held her hair in her hands, tears rolling down her face. That hair wasn't just beauty, it was pride, identity, and...
Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey you later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Go be from Georgia, be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toy, so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Everywhere. Luckiest everywhere.
Dial star 712 hash.
Choose your ticket, enter your lucky number, follow the prompts, and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Need your attention, please. Mnet Movies 4 brings you Action HQ.
Before I describe the job, I have to know you can do it.
The movie festival where action never clocks out.
1, 2, 3.
Go! Business as usual means fist first, questions later. We don't do spreadsheets.
Some car keys, a couple guns.
We do high speeds.
Put your foot to that floor and you hurt.
Our management style, very hands-on. Water cooler chats, surprisingly inspirational.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
This October, Mnet Movies 4 is mission control for mayhem.
Complete destruction.
It's home base for heroics. It's Action HQ. Consider your couch the corner office of chaos. This is not a drill. Report to Action HQ all month long on Mnet Movies 4, where action never clocks out.
Oh, Jose. And I'm the Asamesio. Cannon Pano, Nasana, Mushiana, what me. A drain I didn't quano. Kingdom Garlic Peters. No, more benefit. Me benefit wine. Also, what told dear? Abrewa, the smile, Abrente, Mishuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and any capsules. Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and the capsules. Asembia you a deben when ama when I say send your name wife complain one personal Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Say see mpaswa dead.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni chienya sumdie befi abrebia. Obebia o de poa haw no. Edro ba kupa wuhia ne tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules esiesie wu ma wo ye obesima. Edro yi ubenya bi wo bebia yeton ro bia. Kingdom Herbal, no challenger.
Welcome back to into the studio. So we're talking education, and we're looking at how we can have our children love themselves, grow into something else, and make sure we build, very satisfactory personalities. At the same time, it also takes our mind into the issue of agriculture. And my worry has been that when we are in secondary school, they punish us with weeding. So once you get out of school, you think agriculture is punishment. Nobody wants to weed. Nobody wants to do whatever, but we also lose the focus that it is where you eat. Actually, it's a very rich venture, if you know. The president of this country is an agrarian. So I think we all have to get into it. But also, one thing that encourages me about is to see women who are into agri. So I am biased towards them, right? So Alexander Ayebiakwa, does the name ring a bell? She's with me in the studio, okay? She's a media person, actually. But she ventured into agri, which is something to be applauded. So welcome. Good afternoon to you, Alex. How are you? I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for coming. She is marketing manager for the Huge Ghana, Kujis. Should I say the Huge Ghana or Kujis, because it says stroke before Kujis?
Well, the company is popularly known as Kujis.
Kujis, okay.
But the parent company
for the Huge Ghana. Oh, okay.
Actually,
yes.
Want to be known
as Huge Ghana. Oh, okay. Okay, then let's leave Kujis out. so the Huge Ghana.
Without Kujis, our farmers will also not.
Oh.
I know it's a mouthful. But
it is a mouthful. I will take money after this. So she's marketing manager actually for the Huge Ghana of Kujis, popularly known. But also with us is from the Chamber of Aquaculture, Patrick and Nabila, right? Patrick and Nabila, you're welcome into the studio. And also still from the Huge Ghana is Francis Odei-Enchi. Francis Odei-Enchi, you're welcome. You're welcome as well. Now, what is happening is that we have the Farmed Blue Food Festival 2025 coming up. And you're partaking. Okay, or you are the main...
We are the main sponsor.
You're the main sponsor for the program. Okay, tell us about it. Celebrating... the name actually rang a bell. You know, we have blue water guards in Galamsey. And we have, and then we have blue economy. But this one is blue.
Farmed blue.
What is it with the blue? Your microphone is off. Just press it. Great. Thank you.
So this is what we call aquaculture, that is fish farming. So the farmers deliberately hatch the eggs of the fish, they incubate the eggs, and then they hatch them. So they farm the fish. So this time we're not just going to the sea to harvest the fish, but we farm the fish ourselves. So this fish also falls under the blue economy, which is underwater. So that is why we have the Farmed Blue Festival.
Okay, so the blue actually is a scientific. There's a scientific meaning
So
behind it.
the
It's not just
blue really stands for water.
clean.
Yeah, water. Anything water related.
is
Yeah.
blue.
So that's why we have blue economy. So it's more of the economy we get from water bodies.
Okay.
So that's why we are having the blue gas,
Yeah.
water gas. So it's more, they pick it from the blue economy. So this time around, as he said, we have the Farmed Blue Festival.
Yes.
So it means that instead of we catching from the wild, we are now farming it.
The fish ourselves.
Farming it. So we are cultivating them. So that's come, we have the Farmed Blue Festival.
Okay. Okay. What is it? Is this the first time?
Yes, so we are very excited about it. This is a maiden edition, and we are the proud headline sponsors of this event. We've never had a platform or an event where we've had all the stakeholders in one place. So we're very excited about this, and we're very grateful for the Chamber of Aquaculture for spearheading this event, and we are looking forward to hosting every single person. The event is free. It's from the 30th. It's also on the 31st. So please come with your friends, with your family, to the World Trade Center from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and really enjoy yourself and see what the aquaculture sector is into, see what the fisheries stakeholders are all getting up to, and please support. Please support. It's very, very important.
When you
to us
say
that you
support, what do you mean?
Just come to the events, and then I'm sure so many people are not aware that the tilapia they are eating and the catfish they are eating is all grown here. And it will be a fine opportunity for you to come and meet some of the farmers who are buying these
But
fish
tilapia,
species
if
from.
you don't eat, if tilapia is not from Ghana, where else do they have tilapia?
Oh, you'd be surprised that people think that these are some of the things
Tilapia
that
is
we import.
imported.
Oh, then it's fake tilapia.
So please come and support. Just even your presence alone will be such an encouragement to the farmers. And we are so excited.
What
to
will be the
headlines
nature
sponsor.
of the festival?
So-
Is it encouraging farmers to come and be a part of it, sell what they're growing? Let's know what exactly we have in the country, the opportunities that it opens. What's it looking like?
So it's a key aspects of the program, but what the chamber, and I'm sure Patrick is going to delve
Throw more
more
light, yes,
into that, is really to bring the farmers and the stakeholders and the general public in one area where we educate them, because we're going to have keynote speakers, of which the Vice President is our distinguished keynote speaker for this event. We're going to have other people like our General Manager throwing more light on the opportunities and the challenges within the sector. And you have my colleague Francis over here, who with some others from our company to take their farmers, especially through some technical training, so that for those of them who need a little, sharpening of their skills, that they can, at least that would be a good step for them to understand that they need the knowledge and how to apply it.
Okay.
So for us, it's very, very important. And as much as we are excited about the Blue Food Festival, we are also looking at the capacity building for our farmers primarily, and for the consumers to appreciate what goes into farming fish and some of the things that they can look out for as they are consuming the fish. So we're bringing all these things together so that people can appreciate the sector as a whole. But I'm sure Patrick can go
Yes,
into more
I was
details.
just going right to her.
Yeah, so at the Chamber of Aquaculture, we realized that we didn't have this unique event that brings all the stakeholders on the value chain together. So when we identify this problem,
We don't have any event like that.
there's none like that. So this is the
Really?
Yes, this is the biggest event in Ghana, the biggest aquaculture event in Ghana. So there's no event of the sort in the country. So this is the only event that brings all the stakeholders on the value chain together.
So the whole time I was just thinking too high of myself. Like we had something like that.
No.
So there's nothing like that.
No.
So, but this is the third edition actually. So the event itself is Aquaculture Ghana event. So under it we have conferences, we have exhibitions, and we have the Farm Blue Food Festival.
Okay, so it has metamorphosed into Farmed Blue Festival.
Yes. So
Okay.
initially when we started, we only held the conference bit and the
Yeah.
exhibition.
Yeah.
And then we did some awards, but we realized that we need to encourage the consumption of farmed fish, especially catfish and tilapia, and then prompt Ghanaians that it's not only about the point and kill.
Well, now eat it from the Volta region. Go anywhere. Anywhere is dangerous, trust me.
So this year we want to bring most of the chefs in Ghana together. Let them come and prepare different meals from catfish and tilapia, not the usual point and kill. So we see the other delicacies they can make from catfish and tilapia.
The catfish business has been is booming in this country.
Absolutely.
Where people are able to go and they say they identify.
That's the point and kill.
Pepewe.
Good.
It's called what?
Point and kill.
Anyway, in Penam, so I don't care. I don't care what they eat. But then, I mean, I think because we have taste for our own homegrown food, and it's a good thing I like about Ghanaians. We don't do too much of Western. We like the locals.
Yes.
I think
that's good.
Unless I'm wrong, but I think
You're
we
not.
do. Yeah, so we need to learn how to grow more. But let me go to the one who, give us a technical, I don't know, lessons or teachings or, I don't know, understanding. I love agric. I don't have a land.
So as they've already elaborated, so the event is all about knowledge sharing, empowerment, and then networking, and also giving the space for farmers and even people who have interest. They are not farmers, but they have interest.
Someone like me.
Yes.
Okay.
Can pass by, get the basic knowledge of how to go into fish farming.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a backyard, you want to raise some catfish, maybe not for consumption, for pleasure. You can pass by, get a basic knowledge, how to keep them, how to raise them, where to get even the fingerlings, which is the younger ones to start with, the feed they use, then how to maintain them. The other opportunity there for farmers and stakeholders is the market availability. Most often than not, farmers raise their fish and where to sell them becomes an issue. They don't even know how to add value. So all these are going to be shown there. So once you come there, it is like a one-time shop where you learn everything about aquaculture. So from how to start it, how to process it, how to eat it, and how to sell it.
Well, I'm not a farmer, but I think I can still be a consultant. Just checking. Maybe I can.
Sure.
You were doing this in Accra, right? You mentioned farm gate losses. It has been not a Accra problem. It has been in the hinterlands problem. Recently, we saw some MPs, Agri Ministry, and the president himself trying to buy directly from the farms. But that is the food items that immediately can be used in the schools. But things like, say, yams, cassava, we have factories, but we don't really even know how to get them from the farms into the factories. People don't know where to get them and all. Are we looking at how we can expand into the regions so that our next festival, we're not just going to, where?
Accra.
Do it in Accra.
World Trade Center.
World Trade Center.
Yeah.
It's not everybody that can come to World Trade Center. So we can have, different, I don't know, styles or approaches of involving everybody, including the villages and the hinterlands where farming actually happens. Yeah. Can we consider that this is on your table?
Yes, we can do that as well. So we started
How
small.
much are you paying me for that?
We started small, but we believe that it will grow.
Yeah.
We have the intention to promote Ghana's aquaculture industry very well. So we think this is the ideal platform to bring all the stakeholders together. We're planning to go beyond the boundaries of Greater Accra. So other episodes or other editions, we'll host them. We are thinking of going to Tamale, going to the Shanti region too as well. So we're thinking of hosting in other
regions.
Yes, as well.
So Alex, I'm sure you have confirmations of people who are coming. Do we have confirmation of some of these? I don't know why you are giving me this video. Okay. Do we have confirmations of some of the people, the farmers themselves, especially those who face a lot of challenges? Sometimes when I see harvested foodstuffs that are going rotten, I don't know, it breaks my heart.
It does. It does, especially when we are looking at a looming food insecurity issue because we are not prepared.
Yes.
It's definitely...
I mean, what country will be producing so much and so is faced with a threat of food crisis?
Yeah. What are the storage facilities? Everything is capital intensive, and I know that this particular government has taken, major strides in trying to manage some of these things. But on our own as a company, we are inviting our network of dealers and farmers, those who sell our feed, and their farmers who buy from them. So on our end, that is almost guaranteed. And we are also looking forward to giving away some of our feed to our farmers. Our feed is a very, very hot commodity on the market. So I hope that for the farmers that are listening to us, that you will come, you will participate, you will visit our stand. We have a surprise there. And hopefully, if you guys win the trivia, we are giving away 50 bags between the 30th and the 31st. So I hope that that's an incentive to bring our farmers to the stand.
Okay, I have a few minutes, but this is critical. When we talk about agriculture, we only think of who is on the farm and weeding or who is planting what, but we forget that it's a chain where a lot of people can actually make business from. Do we have people who just want to be in the agriculture chain, maybe as suppliers, maybe as linking you to farms? Do they all have, a part to play in this festival that's coming up?
Yes, they have. In fact, we acknowledge the whole supply chain of the aquaculture. So from feed manufacturers to the hatchery operators.
Yeah.
The hatchery operators are those who hatch the fish to get a fingerling to start. We call them the seed to start the whole process. So they are there. Then we have the outgrowers, those who grow to the table size fish where we get to eat. Then we have the buyers.
Yeah.
Here we call them aggregators, where they come to the farm gate to buy. Even there we have mini processors where women do the gutting of the fish to preserve the quality of the fish so that it doesn't spoil. So we have ice makers who are also in the chain.
Wow.
We have smokers who are also in the chain. So we have cold store operators, they are also in the chain. We have other producers who add value to the fish. So we have like fish crackers, we have fish sausage, a whole lot of
smokers,
value addition that is in the chain. So apart from that, we even have bankers in the chain where they offer some kind of credit. And then we have raw materials for the feed producers, even for the fish farmers. Some of them produce their own feed, but chunk of them rely on the commercial feed producers. So it's a whole lot of chain from raw material like maize, soya, fish oil, fish meal to produce the feed. And when you look at the whole industry, it's a big industry. At the end user, where you are looking at the hoteliers, the consumers, women who are enjoying the fish, especially when you go to tertiary.
The schools.
Yes, you go there and when they catch a young man, they want Bankun tilapia. So there's a lot for everyone to come.
Francis, I'm not happy with you.
I just want to stress on one thing that Alex said concerning our giveaway. It's something that has never happened before for the Hills Ghana to her customers. So we are giving away 50 bags of feed. and that is a lot free of charge to customers in the form of a mini raffle. So once they visit our stand, we ask them 1 or 2 questions concerning our company. They have the entitlement to enter into a raffle or pick some slot, and when they win, they are getting 5 bags of feed, which can translate into almost like 1,200 Ghana cedis. So it's a lot. We just want to serve our customers.
Okay, so there's something for you to win there. I'll come. Because I'm entitled. So the Hughes Ghana, he's wearing the cap and then he's also wearing the Coogis t-shirt. That's a fantastic combination you have done there to confuse us. But thank you. Quickly,
so I think I'll add a bit to what Francis said. That's the more reason why we are holding the exhibition, where we can hold all businesses on the value chain. We have fish health experts as well who would be participating. And then we have the regulatory bodies too, that's EPA, Fisheries Commission, and then the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture also representing.
Nice.
And then, so everybody that matters in our value chain would be there as well.
Okay.
And then I would encourage Ghanaians to participate in this event. There will be free food, there will be free tilapia. They should come and eat, have fun, and enjoy as well.
Just because you know we like freebies. It's okay. Okay, woke up. Alex, your last word. He said the ministry is coming. If John Dumelo doesn't come, I won't come. I want to. That's the truth.
Well, this one is directly under the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture.
He in particular.
He's a customer too.
He's a customer.
My point. You know the thing now. I say you should come. That guy is doing everything so. Hey, why?
In fact, we support your call.
Yes, if he doesn't come, I'm not coming.
He's a businessman.
So you better call him and tell him that I say, if he doesn't come, I won't come.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead. Your last word.
I just want to thank the Chamber and also you for hosting us. We're very excited about this. We're looking forward to more eyes coming into the sector and helping it grow. There's so much potential. Please don't run away from agriculture. Don't run away from aquaculture. Don't run away from fisheries. It's a very, very viable, thriving sector. And I want to encourage all of you to support us as we take little strides to make this sector fruitful for everyone. Thank you.
So the date is?
The date is the 30th and 31st of October. It starts from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's not just a food fair. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to network. And it's an opportunity to dream big when it comes to the aquaculture sector.
All right. At the World Trade
Center.
At the World Trade Center, yes.
Office. Okay. It's just at Accra Central. If you go and you are lost, they will direct you. It's a very easy place to find. I'm grateful.
Thank you
for making time with us. So that's Alexander Yebi Aqua, and she is marketing manager for the Hughes Ghana of Coogis company. I also had Patrick Nabila, who is from the Chamber of Aquaculture, main partner, and also Francis Odey Entry. He's also with the Hughes Ghana. I'm grateful for making time with me. This is what time will allow us here on Good Afternoon Ghana. Thank you for your time. On the 30th and 31st of October, we'll see you at the World Trade Center office for this program.